What if I told you some of the most talked about movies right now are built around relationships you never see coming? Not the typical love stories, but the kind that make you pause, think, and sometimes even feel a little uncomfortable. And the craziest part? Some of these films became massive hits because of that exact reason. Today we're diving into a list of movies that break the usual rules, and once you hear these stories, you might end up adding every single one to your watch list. Lonely Planet, 2024. Far away from the noise of everyday life, a quiet journey begins, and it slowly turns into something much deeper. Lonely Planet, 2024, brings us into the world of a writer, played by Laura Dern, who is searching for inspiration in a peaceful retreat surrounded by breathtaking landscapes. At first, everything feels calm and controlled. She's there to reconnect with her work, to find clarity, and maybe to escape the distractions that have been holding her back. But things shift when she meets a younger traveler, played by Liam Hemsworth. He brings a completely different energy, more spontaneous, more open, and far less concerned with structure. What makes this story stand out is how natural everything feels. Their connection doesn't rush forward. Instead, it builds slowly through meaningful conversations, shared silence, and small moments that feel real. The film focuses more on emotional growth than anything else. It's about rediscovering yourself, finding new perspectives, and realizing that sometimes the people we meet unexpectedly can change the direction of our lives. The visuals add another layer to the experience. The calm, scenic backdrop reflects the inner journey of the characters, making the story feel even more immersive. It's not loud or overly dramatic, but that's exactly what makes it powerful. A Family Affair, 2024. Now imagine this. Everything in your life seems normal, until one discovery changes everything in an instant. That's exactly the situation at the heart of A Family Affair, 2024. Nicole Kidman plays a confident and independent woman who finds herself in a situation she never expected. Zac Efron, on the other hand, brings charm and unpredictability to his role. The twist? Their connection creates a complicated and awkward dynamic involving a younger family member who suddenly has to deal with a situation that feels almost unbelievable. The film thrives on those moments of surprise. It's funny at times, uncomfortable at others, but always engaging. What makes it work is how it balances humor with emotion. The characters aren't just reacting to a situation, they're trying to understand it, process it, and figure out what it means for their lives. There's also a strong focus on communication. The story shows how misunderstandings can grow when people avoid difficult conversations, and how honesty, even when uncomfortable, can bring clarity. It's entertaining, easy to follow, and filled with moments that feel surprisingly relatable. Mother of the Bride, 2024. Sometimes life gives you a second chance when you least expect it, and it often arrives at the most unexpected time. In Mother of the Bride, 2024, Brooke Shields plays a woman who is fully focused on her daughter's wedding. Everything seems to be going according to plan. There's excitement, preparation, and the emotional build-up that comes with such an important event. But just when things feel settled, someone from her past reappears, and suddenly, everything changes. Benjamin Bratt brings a calm and charming presence to the story, creating a dynamic that feels warm and genuine. The connection between the two characters isn't forced. It feels natural, like something that was always meant to be revisited. The film leans into feel-good storytelling, focusing on second chances and the idea that life doesn't stop offering new experiences just because we think we've moved on. It also explores family relationships, showing how different generations handle emotions and decisions in their own ways. It's light, uplifting, and easy to watch, making it perfect for when you want something comforting but still meaningful. May December and 2023. Some stories don't just unfold, they stay with you long after they end. May December 2023 is one of those films that quietly builds its impact, leaving you thinking about it long after the final scene. Julianne Moore delivers a powerful performance as a woman whose past relationship once captured widespread attention. Years later, that story is being revisited, not just by the public, but by someone trying to understand it from the inside. Charles Melton adds depth to the narrative, portraying a character who has lived through the consequences of those past decisions. The film isn't about dramatic twists or fast-paced action. It's about reflection, perception, and how people interpret the same story in different ways. What makes this film stand out is its subtlety. It doesn't tell you what to think. It simply presents the situation and lets you form your own perspective. It explores themes like identity, memory, and how time can change the way we see things. It's thoughtful, layered, and definitely one of the more conversation-driven films on this list. Happiness for Beginners, 2023. What happens when life forces you to start over, and you're not sure where to begin? Happiness for Beginners, 2023, answers that question with a story that feels both refreshing and relatable. Ellie Kemper plays a woman who decides to step out of her comfort zone after a major life change. Instead of staying in a familiar routine, she signs up for a wilderness survival course, a decision that immediately puts her in unfamiliar territory. There she meets a younger guide, played by Luke Mitchell, who challenges her way of thinking. He's confident, experienced, and completely at ease in an environment that feels overwhelming to her. As the journey unfolds, the focus shifts from survival to self-discovery. The challenges she faces in the outdoors reflect the internal struggles she's been avoiding. Slowly, she begins to rebuild her confidence, learning that growth often comes from stepping into situations that feel uncomfortable at first. The film combines humor, emotion, and beautiful scenery, creating a story that feels both inspiring and easy to connect with. Brazen, 2022. Not every story follows a predictable path, and Brazen, 2022, makes that clear from the start. Alyssa Milano plays a writer who unexpectedly finds herself involved in a complex and mysterious situation. What begins as a simple visit quickly turns into something much more intense. As the story unfolds, she teams up with a character played by Sam Page, forming a partnership that adds both emotional depth and tension to the narrative. The film blends mystery with personal storytelling, keeping viewers engaged through a mix of suspense and character development. It's not just about solving a situation, it's about understanding the people involved and the choices they make. The pacing keeps things interesting, while the evolving dynamic between the characters adds another layer to the experience. It's a solid choice for viewers who enjoy stories that combine multiple elements without feeling overwhelming. Otherhood, 2019. What happens when you feel like you've been left behind by the people who once needed you the most? Otherhood, 2019, explores this question through the lives of three mothers who decide to reconnect with their adult children. Angela Bassett leads the story with a strong and relatable performance, supported by a cast that brings both humor and emotion to the screen. The film focuses on family relationships, but it also highlights personal identity and the idea of rediscovering yourself. Each character faces their own challenges, from feeling unappreciated to struggling with change. As they take steps to reconnect with their children, they also begin to understand themselves better. The film balances light-hearted moments with deeper emotional themes, making it both entertaining and meaningful. It's a reminder that relationships evolve, and sometimes taking the first step can make all the difference. Hello, my name is Doris, 2015. Sometimes a single moment can open the door to something completely unexpected. In Hello, my name is Doris, 2015, Sally Field delivers a performance that feels both genuine and memorable. Her character lives a quiet, routine life, until she meets a younger co-worker, played by Max Greenfield. What follows is a story that blends imagination with reality, showing how her perspective shapes the way she experiences the world. The film explores themes of confidence, loneliness, and the desire to break free from routine. It's quirky at times, but also deeply emotional. Doris's journey is about more than just connection. It's about finding the courage to step outside of comfort zones and embrace new possibilities. It's charming, unique, and filled with moments that feel surprisingly relatable. The Boy Next Door, 2015. At first, everything seems simple, but it doesn't stay that way for long. The Boy Next Door, 2015, quickly shifts from calm to intense, keeping viewers hooked from beginning to end. Jennifer Lopez plays a woman navigating a challenging phase in her life when she meets a younger neighbor, played by Ryan Guzman. What begins as a normal interaction soon turns into something far more complicated. The film builds tension steadily, with each moment adding to the overall sense of unpredictability. It's fast-paced and dramatic, making it one of the more intense entries on this list. What makes it engaging is how quickly things escalate. The story keeps you on edge, constantly making you wonder what will happen next. Adore, 2013. Some stories challenge expectations in ways that are hard to forget. Adore, 2013, is one of those films that presents a narrative unlike most others. Set against a beautiful coastal backdrop, the film contrasts peaceful scenery with emotionally complex situations. Naomi Watts delivers a strong performance, bringing depth to a story that explores relationships, choices, and their long-term impact. The film doesn't follow a traditional structure. Instead, it focuses on emotional dynamics and how decisions can shape lives in unexpected ways. It's bold, thought-provoking, and designed to spark conversation. While it may not be for everyone, it stands out for its willingness to explore themes that aren't often addressed in mainstream storytelling. Each of these films offers something different, but they all share one common thread. They explore connections that don't follow the usual path. Some are light and entertaining, others are deep and reflective, but all of them bring something unique to the screen. If you're tired of predictable stories and want something that feels fresh, this list is a great place to start. Whether you're in the mood for something uplifting, emotional, or intense, there's a film here that will match your mood. And the best part? You might discover a story that stays with you long after it ends. So now the question is, which one are you watching first?